Most people think their future will improve automatically, that one day they'll suddenly become disciplined, focused, powerful, successful. But that day rarely comes because the human brain is constantly being programmed by repetition. Every thought repeated, every behavior repeated, every emotional reaction repeated, builds neurological pathways, and over time, those pathways become automatic. This is how identities are formed. Not through one dramatic decision, but through thousands of repeated behaviors. Every distraction strengthens distraction. Every excuse strengthens avoidance. Every act of discipline strengthens control. You are conditioning yourself every single day. The question is, what are you becoming? Imagine two people after work every night. One spends time studying, training, building skills, planning their future. The other escapes into endless entertainment, scrolling, videos, distraction. For weeks the difference looks invisible, but the brain is recording everything. Neural pathways strengthen through repetition. The disciplined person is training focus, self-control, tolerance for discomforts. The distracted person is training impulsiveness, avoidance, mental weakness. Months later, their identities begin separating. One becomes sharper, more confident, more disciplined. The other becomes restless, reactive, unable to focus deeply. Because what you repeatedly practice, your brain begins accepting as normal, and eventually, normal becomes identity. Most people appear disciplined only when life feels easy. But stress reveals conditioning. The moment pressure appears, old programs reactivate. Fatigue, fear, failure, uncertainty, and suddenly the brain craves familiar relief. Comforts, escape, distraction. Imagine someone building a powerful routine, waking up early, working consistently, staying focused. Then stress enters their life. Instead of protecting the routine, they return to old habits. Late night scrolling, avoidance, procrastination. Why? Because the nervous system always tries returning to familiar emotional states, even destructive ones. This is why old habits feel powerful. They are deeply conditioned survival patterns. Most people underestimate how dangerous repeated small behaviors become. Every time you procrastinate, you strengthen the pathway of avoidance. Every time you obey distraction, you strengthen impulsiveness. But every time you act despite resistance, you build a different mind, a stronger mind, a more disciplined identity. This is why self-awareness matters. Powerful people constantly observe themselves. They notice when focus weakens, when excuses increase, when distractions begin taking control again, because collapse starts quietly, one compromise at a time. And if destructive patterns are not interrupted early, the brain begins automating them again. People can endure enormous discomforts when connected to a meaningful future. Purpose changes the brain. A person obsessed with building a better life sees distraction differently. They see it as theft. Theft of time, theft of energy, theft of potential. And because of that, they become protective of their attention, protective of their habits, protective of their identity, because they understand something most people never realize. The future is built through repeated behavior. Right now, you are wiring your future into your nervous system. Every repeated action is shaping your identity. Most people drift unconsciously, repeating destructive habits for years, until weakness becomes personality. But disciplined people understand something different. The brain can be trained, conditioned, rewired, and the person you become tomorrow depends on what you repeatedly reinforce today. So ask yourself carefully, if you continue repeating your current habits for the next 5 years, what kind of mind will you create? Because eventually your repeated behaviors become the person staring back at you in the mirror.